The three of you, or just so?
Together and separately. Myself, uh, I began to write for other people and do some production. Darren got with some people and started doing some writing. Brian had his partner, Sergio Moore, um, who they were doing some production together. They started getting with Rockefeller and doing stuff with them. Rel and no, with Dragon, not with Rockefeller, but they started getting Rockefeller and doing some stuff. And I was in the mix with some other things and, Musiq Soulchild and, and stuff like that. And then ultimately we went on the road with Case. We went on the road with Donnell Jones. I think me, Brian, and Darren went on the road with Case, but I think it was just me and Brian that went out with Donnell. And we started just kind of touring with people. You know what I'm saying? And doing that while we're writing and while we're producing or whatever. It was Case that was in Minneapolis with Jimmy Jam and Taylor Lewis after they did that, the Best Man soundtrack. Case,
Yeah.
RL, Tyrese, Genuine. Case was in Minneapolis. He was playing a song with me singing on it. Jimmy
Mm.
and Terry say, "Who is that?" And he says, "That's Little Tone." Yo, what's his deal? What's his situation? And they call me. And I said, yo, there's Brian, there's Darren. We still together. You know what I'm saying? We rocking. And they said they're looking for a uh a band. And I said, well, I play. Brian does a little bit playing as well. I said, so let's do it. That's how we linked with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. That's how that even happened. And when I went to Minneapolis, I feel like we did everything. We worked with Jimmy and Terry. I got on other projects with them. It was amazing.
Did you have to relocate to Minneapolis or for a while
I,
or?
well, what I tell people, I always say, I moved to Minneapolis for a while, but it sounds good, right? But technically that's true. We spent a year or two in
Wow.
Minneapolis, and Jimmy and Terry they got us a place. We were driving around. I mean, that's where we were going to sleep, going to the studio, going to the gym, going to the mall. I mean, that's just where we were for a long time. I still
Did
lived in, but I spent a
so you were working on Flight Time. Did you do stuff with Sound of Blackness, a solo um
no,
meant?
Solo was before this period. So I never met Solo. By the time we went to
Okay.
Minneapolis, Solo had already had their run with Flight Time.
Okay.
Now
Well,
Stokely,
that's okay.
Stokely, yeah, Stokely, and then everybody was kind of coming through uh Flight Time. Jordan Knight, Yolanda Adams, TLC, Pink, Mariah Carey, they were coming through. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? And
Mary and
yeah,
Mary
we
J.
were
Blige and Usher.
absolutely. Usher. I'm not going. There's a whole thing, but Usher, yes, Usher was up there right after us. He went up there too. Shout out to my guy Usher. But you know what, man? You know what it is? The business is so political. I love Usher, man. Usher's a friend of mine, dope dude. I am so proud of that guy. I am proud of Usher. Out of all people, he's one of the people who I'm most proud of. But yeah, he went up there, was doing confessions. That same pocket of time.
But, but what would Jimmy and Terry have you guys do? Like what would you be doing when all these guys are there?
Um, Listen, I'll give you an example. Yolanda Adams was doing a song, Be Ready. I'm gonna be ready. And may Big Jim rest in peace. He was a big part of that. Because they
Big
had
Eric,
already
yeah.
they had already done Open Up My Heart for her.
But
And,
that was a massive one, yeah.
oh my God. They
Beautiful
just,
song.
it was an award winning. I mean, it was just
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
And it would be a situation where it would be like, Tom, what you doing? I'm doing something. Yo, come in here right quick. All right. Go in there. They working on a song with Yolanda Adams. I get involved. Like it was like because you got people just walking around, just doing different stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the hope is, it's Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. The hope is to get in there and just, what are they doing? What are y'all working on? What are y'all working on? You know what I'm saying? And there was some new artists in there. There were established artists in there. And the thing was to get in where you fit in, if you can. And that's what I was doing.
What's it like working with, two of the greatest songwriter producer duo of all time? Just watching, I mean, if going back from SOS Band, Time, Cyril, Alex, and I mean, I can go on and on.
Okay. So let me first say this. Let me first say shout out to Bobby and Izzy, the Avila brothers, geniuses. Shout out to them because we worked with them while we were there too. And working with them was really, really dope as well. So I just had to put that out there because those are my guys, and those guys are just so amazing. Jimmy and Terry, bruh, this is how I usually put it. Working with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis was like was going to two universities at one time. Two universities at the very same time. That's what being with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis was like. The process was Jimmy's laid back. Jimmy loves history like me. So we would sit around and talk. I had this question for them. I said, yo, there's this the Minneapolis sound. There's this thing that would happen. It would be like this. It's that pause right there. Yo, where does that come from? I'm like, I hear it in Vanity. I hear it in Time. I hear it in Janet Jackson. I hear Prince. Where does that come from? And then Terry would be like, man, that's a good question. You should ask Jimmy. And then Jimmy would be like, year was about 1981. We were in a studio one night. But that's what it would be like. So talking to Jimmy was like a computer, just a wealth of knowledge in a theory, in composition, and history. And he remembers everything, literally, and he retains it all. I was like, man, I want to be like Jimmy Jam. So Jam is one of my all-time favorite composers. One of my all-time favorite people that ever touched a piano and created something. Jimmy Jam. That sound. It is the sound of melancholy. It's the sound of beauty. It's the sound of love. It's the sound of sadness. What Terry is, the funk. So Terry gonna give you that grit. So this is why you can hear like Control. And then they go into the so they go into those pretty parts. That's Jimmy. And then that grit, that bottom, that's that funk, that's Terry.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of